Suba North Member of Parliament Millie Odhiambo has delivered a candid and a direct assessment of the internal problems facing the Orange Democratic Movement ODM in a press conference held in Nairobi on Monday, January 5th, 2026. Her remarks came at the moment when the party was dealing with heightened tension among key officials, growing frustration within the grassroots, and the escalating verbal confrontation that had increasingly spilled into the public arena. Millie Odhiambo addressed these developments with a call for honest and self-reflection, arguing that the turbulence affecting ODM had emerged entirely from within its own ranks. Millie Odhiambo, by noting that many members were quick to assign to blame external forces whenever disagreement resurfaced, she stressed that this approach had become a distraction, masking the real source of the party's instability. According to her, ODM current turmoil was self-inflicted and required internal solution rather than finger-pointing at outsiders. Our message focused on acknowledging responsibilities and addressing mistakes that had weakened the party's cohesion. Millie explained that the confusion spreading across the membership was a direct result of a conduct by the party's own leaders who had allowed internal disputes to overshadow essential organizational work. She elaborated that ODM difficulties had intensified because senior officials had chosen to take their disagreement into the public domain instead of resolving them through established party mechanism. Millie emphasized that this behavior had created an atmosphere of uncertainty and the mistrust among ODM supporters who rely on the party for direction. She urged leaders to stop fueling quarrels through public confrontation and instead return to dialogue, discipline, and unity. Her appeal was grounded in the belief that ODM could only stabilize itself by reorganizing how much harm had been caused by internal actions and by making deliberate efforts to repair those fractures. Millie Odhiambo continued by highlighting that certain figures within ODM and adopt a pattern of apportioning blame to others while avoiding accountability for their own role in the dispute. She stated that this tendency had led to unnecessary friction that distracted from critical organization priorities. In her view, the habit of shifting responsibility had weakened decision making and contributed to growing frustration among ordinary members. She urged the party to focus on rebuilding trust by acknowledging internal errors openly and addressing them directly. Millie framed her remarks as a necessary reminder that a genuine solution could only emerge through honest cooperation and internal reforms. Her comments echoed earlier remarks made by Rarieda Member of Parliament Otiende Amolo, who had already addressed the unrest surrounding ODM's top leadership. Otiende had called for an immediate end to the intensified war of words between the Secretary General EDWIN Sifuna and Suna East Member of Parliament, who doubles up as the minority leader in the National Assembly, Junet Mohamed. Speaking earlier in the day, Otiende addressed these claims and stressed that ODM needed to step back from inflammatory rhetoric and return to political discipline. His message warned that the escalating confrontation between the two senior members was obstructing and obscuring more important tasks, that needed attention as the party moved closer to the 2027 general election. Otiende Amolo highlighted that divisive statement had begun to dominate the internal communication within the ODM party. He explained that this trend had replaced the constructive dialogues necessary for the strengthening of ODM institution and preparing for the next election cycle. According to him, the focus should shift towards reinforcing the party's organizational structure and political strategy rather than nurturing conflicts that did not mean or serve the ODM objectives and a purpose. Otiende Amolo appeal underscores the urgency of restoring calm and ensuring that key political officials avoid public exchange that could damage the party's image, especially towards the 2027 general election. He further emphasized that with the next election period approaching, ODM could not afford to let personal disagreement distract the party's critical planning and mobilization efforts to unite and chart a way forward in 2027. Otiende urged leaders to walk back from divisive rhetoric and prioritize unity, warning that public quarrel places the party at a disadvantage during an already sensitive period. His remarks reflected concerns shared by various members of ODM who have shared their worry that prolonged dispute and disagreement between senior leaders would weaken ODM ability to rally its supporters and prepare effectively for the upcoming political challenges. This is because Raila is no longer there. The tension addressed by both Millie and Otiende were connected to the dispute that is currently being triggered by the Nairobi senator who doubles up as the Secretary General for ODM, EDWIN Sifuna, public accusation against Suna East Member of Parliament who doubles up as the minority leader in the National Assembly, Junet Mohamed, on the mishandled campaign funds provided by former President Uhuru Kenyatta during the 2022 general election cycle. According to the claims, many campaigns agents who worked for ODM remain unpaid because some leaders diverted the money meant to facilitate grassroots mobilization into their own pockets. According to Sifuna, he asserted that this failure had undermined ODM ground operation during the 2022 contest and contributed to the party's electoral difficulties that led them to lose the presidency with around 200,000 votes. This accusation brought a renewed intention of events from the election year and added tension to the already strained relationship within ODM leadership.